What's up, guys? I think we are live here for another Monday update coming at you on a Tuesday. I'm a little behind. We were getting back from Texas yesterday, and so yeah, we pushed the update to Tuesday so I can make sure we get everything in here. But as always, leave me a comment if you guys are in here. I'm gonna make sure to tag everybody real quick and get some people in here. Yeah. Big weekend, guys, down in Texas. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the stuff we have coming up this weekend. We got a couple events coming up this weekend, and then lots of tournaments and stuff on the schedule going forward. So, yeah, we'll give it just a couple seconds here to filter in, make sure everything's working. But once you get in here, drop me a comment. Leave me a comment if you're watching later on YouTube or wherever. Leave me a comment and let me know you're in here. And if you have any questions about anything, definitely drop them down in there so I can try my best to answer them. But yeah, big weekend. But let's talk about what we have coming up going forward first. Couple things this weekend that I'm super excited about. Should be a lot of fun. Starting with Waterfest this weekend. So we have the Waterfest parade is this Saturday at 9:30 is when it starts. We're going to start the lining up at 8:30 and then try to get everybody to be at the float by 9. We're going to meet by it's kind of on the road by the skate park. So if you know where that at, it's Marietta Street. I'll post up, make a post with these details too, but we're going to meet there about 9, and then the parade takes off at 9:30. We cannot throw stress balls this year, unfortunately, but we're going to have music. We're going to have a lot of fun and more fun than everybody else at the parade. So come out this Saturday. There's no classes this Saturday because of the Waterfest parade. But come out to the Waterfest parade and have a good time, ride the float. And like I said, we'll meet about 9, and then the parade will start at 9:30. Looking forward to it. Last year was a blast. I think everybody that was there last year will tell you we had a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. It was hot last year, but everybody had a good time. So hope to see everybody there for that. Kids and adults, anybody's welcome on the float. Would love to have as many people as possible so we can pack that thing full. We'll have people walk if they have to. We'll fill the truck bed if we have to. But whatever we need to do. Love to have you guys there for the Waterfest parade this weekend, this Saturday. Again, meet at 9:30 over there, kind of by the skate park. I think a lot of people last year parked over at the Elms and then walked across that little bridge that's closed. That's where we met last year, and it'll be the same this year. So, yeah. But then Sunday, right? So no classes on Saturday, but Sunday we are having a seminar with Brian Harris, who we're going to talk about a little bit later too. But we're doing a leg lock seminar this Saturday with Brian Harris. It is free at 2:00 for Stride members. It's $45 for non-members. But should be a really good seminar. Brian competed this weekend down at ADCC in Dallas, and he won one of his matches by heel hook. So, he's got all the skills to be able to do it at a big level like that. So, looking forward to that seminar this Saturday at 2:00. Don't miss it. Like I said, it's totally free for Stride members. This is an adult seminar, so it'll be ages 14 plus. We're working on some stuff for kids in a little later in the year. We're going to do working on a seminar a little later in the year for kids, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to it. But yeah, this weekend is for adults. Leg lock seminar this Sunday, 2:00. Don't miss it. It'll be a good time, and it'll be about 2 hours, and then we'll have rounds afterwards too. And I think there's plenty of people coming in from other gyms and stuff too. So there'll be a lot of people, a lot of good rounds, and it should be a really, really good time. So yeah, hope to see everybody there for that. And then a couple of the things we have coming up afterwards, right? So we kind of went from like not having a ton of tournaments this year to now we're jam packed through the end of the year. So which is awesome. So the next couple the next one is a little bit of a ways away, but AGF in Tulsa, July 11th. I know Coach Nick and Kennedy are planning on going and competing down there. We're going to talk about both those guys a little bit later too. But they are going to compete at AGF in Tulsa. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good-sized tournament. There's lots of competitors already signed up for it. So if you're interested in traveling to Tulsa, Coach Nick and Kennedy will be down there too, and looking to pick up some big wins. And yeah, keep the competition thing going. So that's AGF Tulsa, July 11th. The next big one though that's going to be here local is July 19th, and that's the Fuji tournament. We already have a bunch of people signed up for this one, and it's already starting to fill in too. I think Blaze just signed up, and he has already like 10 people in his bracket, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, the Fuji tournament in July should be a great tournament. The Fuji tournaments are always good size, and yeah, if you're interested in competing, kids or adults, that'll be a great one to do so. And I believe it is at the KCI Expo Center too, so not too far away. Should be a great tournament, and it's our next big local one. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town for that tournament, which like is crushing to me. But I'm going to be on Smooth Comp the whole time, just refreshing matches. Looking forward to seeing how everybody does, and you know, I think anytime you can get out there and compete, it's a good thing. It helps you improve. We're going to talk about that from this weekend too. But if you want something to get ready for, July 19th is a great one. There'll be lots of good competition. There'll be lots of competitors, so there's less chance of you getting merged into a different bracket. Still could happen, and it really doesn't matter. But there's less chance of it happening at Fuji than some of the others. If you need somebody in your bracket, that's one of the better opportunities to get somebody. So July 19th, Fuji, looking forward to that one. Should be a great tournament and should have a lot of competitors for that. The next one is August 8th, and I'm going through all these tournaments. I didn't post all these up yet. I'll post them as we get closer. But August 8th, AGF Omaha, another AGF tournament coming within driving distance. So I know there's a few people talking about going and doing that. Should be a good tournament. AGF normally puts on good tournaments. The last one here was a little small, but it ran smooth and ran fast. They were ahead of schedule, which is always good for tournaments. So, and then we're going to talk about this a little later too. But ADCC Texas was so much fun and such a I don't know, like an eye opener when it comes to competition. And we all had such a blast. I know Coach Nick, as soon as he got done with his matches, was like, I'm all in now. We're going to Nashville. So if you're interested in prepping for a big tournament a ways away for a road trip, you can go ahead and put September 19th for ADCC Nashville on your list. I know we already have a good size group that's going to go down for that. I'm super excited for it. We're going to talk all about ADCC here in just a minute. But you can go ahead and put that on your schedule too, because whether you plan to compete or not, I think the experience of going to ADCC is something everybody should do, right? Even if you do not have any interest in competing, I hope everybody, even if you're just going to watch, tries to make it down to Nashville for the experience, for the hangout, for just to see what that level of competition is like, because it was awesome. It was so much fun, and I can't wait for to do it again in September. Last thing I have to talk about here, though, is switching it up from Jiu-Jitsu into MMA a little bit, is FAC July 25th. This card is packing out and looking amazing. There's some really high level guys on there that I'm super excited about. Garrett, who is fighting on the card, Garrett and Shane from here are going to be fighting on the next FAC. Garrett has left me some tickets, so if you guys need tickets, it's a family-friendly event. It's a great show. I hope we pack it out for Garrett and Shane and make tons of noise from the Stride crew. But I have tickets here. They're $35 if you want to get them through Garrett. I have a stack here at the gym that I can get to you, or you can message Garrett or Shane directly and get tickets from them as well. But FAC, one of the biggest, best shows in the area, and I'm lucky enough to commentate it, and I as this card has been getting put up and posted, like there's lots of really good matchups and lots of guys who are just like on that brink of making their break into the big show like the UFC or something like that. So it is a great show. Like I said, there's some of these that aren't family friendly really. FAC is not one of those. You can bring the kids. It's a good time. They throw stuff into the crowd. Yeah, it's a great show. It's one of the bigger productions. It's a lot of fun. So I hope to see everybody July 25th, FAC 35 at Cable Dama Arena in Independence. Come out and make some noise, wear your Stride colors, and go absolutely crazy for Garrett and Shane when they step inside the cage. So Let me reload here, make sure that I'm not missing any comments. If you have some comments, leave them down for me before we get to the ADCC recap. Perfect. John's in here. I see that. Nice. We got a few people in here. So before we get to the ADCC recap, leave me a comment, emoji, something, a like, so I know some people are in here. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in here on a Tuesday instead of a Monday this week. Yeah, we're going to talk about everything that happened in Texas, right? So we're going to talk about all the individual matches. We're going to talk about the whole experience as a whole, like I just kind of alluded to when talking about Nashville in September. ADCC is different, right? It was so much fun. Not only everything outside of the tournament, but the tournament itself was extremely eye-opening. Some extremely, extremely high-level competition. I think it was a whole nother level of competition than we've ever seen at any of these other tournaments, which is great, right? It does several things for us. It really gives us things to work on and opportunities to grow and improve. There's more people there than just watching than any of the other tournaments we've been to. I want to say there was like 1,200 competitors or something, but there was probably, I don't know, 3,000 people there in the room, which was a lot of fun. I hadn't been to a tournament like that in a long, long time. The Grapplers Quest tournaments that I did in like 2008 and 9 were massive tournaments like this where they just had, I don't know, I think they had 16 mats or something, just all the way down the place. And that's how this was. I hadn't been to a tournament like that since, and it was just such a good experience, I think, for everybody involved, whether they competed or not. I know it was a great experience for me to be there, and we've learned a lot from it, and has me fired up to keep training and learning and growing to get ready for these next ones. So yeah, let's get to it though. Let's start talking about some matches here. So yeah, first one, I'm going to go through the kids here first. The first one of the day was Paisley. And even as a coach, I feel like I underestimated some of these kids a little bit, right? Even the 6-year-olds guys at this thing were just absolute savages. There were some killers all across the board. And Paisley was our first one up of the day, and she jumped up into the boys bracket for her division. And watching them, I think we just got off to a little bit of a slow start, right? Watching them later, I think Paisley is just as skilled as the kids she went against, if not better. And we just had a little bit of a slow start, not being able to really get our offense going. But there is so much she's going to learn from this and continue to improve from. Like I said, just the experience as a whole, I think, taught everybody that competed a lot. And Paisley has all of the skills, right? I've seen it in here. I've seen it at other tournaments. She just goes in and smashes people. She has extremely good technique. The matches didn't really go the way we wanted this time. Like I said, I think we just got off to a little bit of a slow start, and I'm excited to see, now that everybody's a little more prepared for what to expect at an ADCC. I know she's going to make some huge adjustments, and as she goes into AGF in Tulsa and Omaha and Fuji, as she goes into those, she's going to be more than ready for those. And it's gonna feel like a breeze being able to have that such high level competition, compete there, and then now you're going to the more local tournaments. I expect her to just start running through people and come back with a vengeance. But yeah, like I said, she is so good. We all know how good Paisley is, and it's just putting in being able to start playing her offense is really all it came down to this weekend. Once she gets on offense, she's hard to stop. Her arm bars, triangles, all that stuff are nasty. Once she gets top position, she's a handful. So yeah, I was super proud of Paisley being the first one to go out there and just go for it. Like I said, just didn't really get to put our offense into play. But I know she's going to grow from it and continue to get better and better. And I'm here for it every step of the way. I love watching her compete. And, all three of the more kids, I'm going to talk about this here in a minute, but these kids put in so much work. They put in more work than most of the adults, and spend more time on the mat training than most of the adults. And so I'm for it anytime they're going to compete. They do everything the right way. And like I've said with MMA, it's like, if you do all the things the right way leading up to it, you have to be proud of your performance no matter what. And all three of the more kids spend so much time training, right? They're all extremely dedicated competitors on and off the mat, right? They're great teammates on and off the mat, and they do everything the right way off the mat. So win, lose, or draw, I'm here for their performances. I'm all about it. I love watching those kids compete because they do it that way, and they should be all be extremely proud of themselves. But especially Paisley stepping up first matches of the day for us and going out there and putting it on the line. Super proud of her for going out and competing on a big show like that. Next one, we'll go through all the more kids here first. Drake, he was so much fun to watch this weekend. He is always so much fun to watch, but I felt like he stepped up to the level of competition here this weekend. So, like I said, every bracket, every matches we had, they were the toughest matches we've ever had. And Drake stepped up not only into an older or into a higher skill level. He jumped up in with the gray belts. He did his regular bracket too, but he stepped up into those and just looked phenomenal, right? Like even in the matches we lost on points, I think he was closer to the finishes a lot of times. Like he was going for it this weekend. He was trying the moves that we had talked about ahead of time. We had talked about some of the game plans in between matches, and that kind of stuff is so big when it comes to competition. Like it is to be able to make those adjustments and immediately put them into play, or talk about a game plan right before the match and put it into play, is so big. And it makes such a difference. For Drake, it's just fine-tuning little details now, right? Like he's got all of the big stuff down. He was, man, he like I said, he was so much fun to watch this weekend. We a couple examples. One of his matches, we saw the kid, when you'd pull on their head, they would kind of go hips in. And so we talked about before his match, I'm like, hey, pull on their head and then shoot, right? And he was trying that immediately, pulling the head and then shooting. And then we had talked about this little setting to an armbar. It's kind of like a flying armbar that he does. And he went for it the first match, kind of missed it. The second time he went for it in the next match, we had talked about, like, you got to pinch your knees tight when you go for it. And man, he was so close to hitting this little armbar. He was deep in. We just lost it after he was already set in on it and lost the elbow. But being able to do that stuff in such a high pressure situation, such a high level competition is, it's one of the hardest things to be taught if it can be taught, right? Like, Drake looked phenomenal this weekend. There's going to be a photo coming of him flying through the air going for one of these arm bars, and I was just so impressed and had so much fun watching him compete this weekend. I always do, because he is such a dog and such a game competitor, and we got to see that this weekend, right? Like the matches didn't go the way we wanted, but there is lots of great takeaways from the way Drake competed this weekend. I was super, super happy with every one of his matches, how he competed, how he went out there, went for it, was trying the technique, not just trying to win, right? He was trying to hit those techniques that we had been practicing on the side, that we had been, he must have armbarred me like 100 times over on the warm-up mat. And yeah, he's got all the skills, and it's just fine-tuning the little things now. He's got all the big stuff down, and I can't wait to continue to watch him refine those little techniques and continue to improve. And like I said, he trains so much and trains so hard, and was such a good competitor this weekend that no matter what the result of the matches was, it was a gold medal weekend for him, in my opinion, because of all the things that he's done right leading up to it. So yeah, super, super proud of Drake, and I had such a blast watching him this weekend. I'm excited to see his growth going forward, and can't wait to watch him at the next one. He's just a great competitor for sure. And then let's get to the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Lakota. If you are seeing this, it's Lakota's birthday today, but she had a great did a great job this weekend too. And like I said, these three kids, man, they train so hard. They put more hours on the mat each week than pretty much all the adults, right? Like they train incredibly hard, and you can tell that they absolutely love it, and that is what is so important, right? Like, and the growth that Lakota has had since starting to now in these tournaments has been one of my favorite things to watch, because she's not getting stuck anywhere anymore. She's not mentally, she's a different competitor now, right? She's unbreakable. We talked about this last week with some of the kids, but when you have to battle through bad spots, in some of these tournaments. If you can continue to persevere through that, right, you become unbreakable. And that's literally Lakota. It's like she's just thrown on armor every single tournament and now has become unbreakable, right, mentally, and her technique is becoming unbreakable as well too, right? Um, her guard is so hard to pass now. She can't be stuck in mount, right? That she's going against the best kids competitors in the city, and you can't keep her there. She battles out of it every time, and she battled out of some really tough spots this weekend. And I think her defense was just like looked incredible this weekend. It was very, very much on point. And now it's just putting in her offense. I know she has the offensive skills. We see them in here. And I think once she starts implementing that offense a little more into these tournaments with that shell of armor she's built around her with this defense, she's going to be unstoppable, right? She is continuing to improve every single tournament, and all the hard work she puts in, I think, is paying off. Like I said, she trains so incredibly hard. You can tell she absolutely loves it, and it's such a pleasure to watch her at these tournaments compete because you get to see the work that she's put in, right? It's paying off. She she deserves to pick up a bunch of these W's because she does everything the right way, right? She deserves everything she has coming to her for sure because she works her tail off, and I was super proud of her this weekend. Again, matches didn't go the way we want, but she has stepped up huge these last 2 weekends. She stepped up into an older or a higher weight class this weekend, but then stepped up at blue corner last weekend. Looked phenomenal, and is continuing to just improve. And they have such a good mindset with it, right? And this is something I'm going to talk about here in a minute too. But one of my favorite things with all the kids this weekend is there were no excuses about anything, right? Like it would have been easy for Lakota to say, "Oh, well, I jumped up in a higher weight class, like that's why I lost." No, there was none of that. Drake could, I was in an older age group. No, was no excuses. But Paisley could have said, "I was going with the boys," and you can make all the kinds of excuses. They didn't make a single one, right? They head up from it, and just are going to continue and improve. And that's the kind of mindset that I hope all of our adults have, right? I hope they can go into these tournaments and use them to grow the way that these kids are, because their improvement is showing every single time they get out there. And it's only a matter of time till they're the absolutely unstoppable ones in these tournaments. So with all of that said, happy birthday, Lakota. Great job this weekend. Super proud of all three of the more kids. And I can't wait to watch you guys compete again and continue to grow. You guys make it fun every single time, and I'm here for it every step of the way. So, great job this weekend, guys. And then next on the list, I keep calling him Little Carson. I don't know if he would like that or not, but Carson Spicer, man, this kid, I said this this came out wrong at the class last night, but man, if you look up the definition of grit, determination, heart on Google, you're going to see a picture of Carson Spicer. This kid has all of the unteachable qualities of a champion, right? Like he is just an all around great kid. Like is such a respectful competitor, but man, there is not a single ounce of quit in this kid. Like ADCC lets things go a lot further than like Fuji does, right? If somebody gets close to an omoplata or something like this, they'll stop it right away. And ADCC is not that way. They're going to let things go for quite a while, right? And Carson battled out of some extremely tough positions. Excuse me. He battled out of some extremely tough positions that most kids would have quit, right? Like he was in an omoplata, battled out of the armbar, and there's just not a single ounce of quit. And that's stuff that can't be taught, right? And it's not stubbornness, right? It's confidence without cockiness, which is exactly what we want. And he just has such a good belief and determination in himself that he's one of my favorite people to watch every time, because it does not matter who he's going against. He's going to make it a dogfight. And he was going up against some of these kids who have hundreds and hundreds of matches at gray belt and in other ADCC events too, and made it a dogfight every time. And besides battling out of submissions, he was also going for the techniques too, right? And putting his game plan into play. It's something we've talked about the last couple weeks in kids and adults. It's like you can't let them play their game, right? You have to go out there and play your own game. And man, Carson went for it this weekend. Even there was one, I think it was his first match. You could just tell how excited he was to get out there and get after it. And immediately like shot for a takedown a little too early. And they reset him, and I hope that didn't get to him mentally too much because he went out there and ended up getting a takedown, passing guard, and then we just got caught in a couple little submissions there. But his ability to battle through this stuff is incredible, and like I said, such a good kid and such a great competitor. I'm down to go to war with that kid anytime because he's does everything the right way and has all of those qualities that you can't teach, right? In a champion, right? He does has the heart and determination and the confidence without cockiness that we should all aspire to have, I think. So great job this weekend, Carson. I was super proud of you getting out there and going for it, especially, and again, never made an excuse, but Carson was our most like active competitor and then had a injury to his like jaw and has been out for a little bit, hasn't competed for quite a while. I don't know how long it's been exactly, but hadn't competed for quite a while, and then goes down there in Texas in the biggest tournament there possibly is against the toughest competition he's ever faced and just goes for it, right? So great job this weekend, Carson. Super proud of you. And I think now he has all those unteachable qualities. It's just about keep adding the technique and adding, refining some little details, and he's going to become unstoppable too, right? So I'm here for it every step of the way. Love watching him compete, and I can't wait for the next one. Next on the list, Kennedy. Now she made fun of me a lot this weekend, but we had a really good time, and her performance was incredible. I'm not ever going to make fun of her performance because she looked really good, and this is her first tournament ever. So our first jiu-jitsu tournament ever. We all know how good of a wrestler Kennedy is, and to step up for your first tournament ever into ADCC, into a gray belt bracket, like it is crazy, right? Like it's she made it as hard on herself as she possibly could. That's for sure. And she picked up a win this weekend too, right? So I didn't get to see all of her matches. I did get to see the match she won, which she was dominant in. Like there was nothing this other girl could do to her. She was had a mounted guillotine, was setting in on it, and you could see just all of that wrestling experience come into play, right? She's been on the mat enough times. She looked like she was comfortable out there, listening to the coaches, listening to her dad, and following all the instructions and just walking through these moves and just being an absolute force on the mat. And I know she's already signed up for AGF in Tulsa, and I cannot wait to watch her compete there because really now it's just about finding those small adjustments to combine that wrestling with jiu-jitsu, right? Like and dealing with the differences between the two. And I know she's such a smart girl and such a good competitor. I know it won't take long for her to kind of figure out all those little differences and little changes to where she's just as dominant on the jiu-jitsu mat as she is the wrestling mat. And yeah, congratulations, Kennedy. Picking up a win at ADCC is incredible in and of itself, but at your first tournament, not in a beginner bracket, right, is crazy. And she should be very, very proud of her performance, and I can't wait to watch her to continue to improve, right? Yeah. I know Nick was trying to explain to her the differences between, or like kind of the comparison of what an ADCC tournament is like with some of the big wrestling tournaments she's done, and to be able to go out there and compete like that is crazy. Like and like I said, I know she's just going to continue to get better and better because it's just she's got all the hard parts down, right? She's got the ability to compete down. It's just about putting that wrestling with the jiu-jitsu and understanding what you can do in one and can't do in the other. And in order to kind of keep yourself safe. And I am excited to watch her growth and watch her kind of go on a tear. You know, I was so excited to see she's already signed up for AGF here in 2 weeks, something like that. I was so excited to see they're going to go down to Tulsa and she's going to compete again because that just shows me she's about to be an absolute force in jiu-jitsu too, right? Once she keeps making these little adjustments, I'm so excited for it. And I was super proud of how she performed this weekend, even if she did make fun of me quite a bit, right? It's okay. Um, I was super proud of her performance, and had a lot of fun with the Grass family this weekend for sure. So great job, Kennedy. Looking forward to watching your next one, and watching you continue to be a force on the mat. So, yeah. Next on the list, we might as well keep it in the Grass family. This is one of the highlights for me this weekend, was watching Coach Nick pick up a win at ADCC. Really his first match was pretty dominant as well. Had a really tight arm triangle, and then guy went for a leg lock, ended up catching a hard, not making excuses, but catching a hard heel to the groin as he was battling out of this leg lock. And I don't know if the leg lock was tighter or the kick to the groin was worse, but lost the first one, and then continues to just like his level of composure. And like, he set a perfect example for all of our competitors this weekend, right? Like, it made me so, not that I wasn't already, but so happy and proud to have him be a leader here at Stride, and somebody that our competitors can look up to, because he just is calm, cool, collected, and an absolute savage on the mats, right? Like, calm, cool, collected, but aggressive, and you don't want to be in the path of Coach Nick when he's in competition mode. And so shakes the first one off, goes out there the second one, and absolutely dominates. Has a Kimura he's working on for a little bit, and then switches that Kimura right into an armbar to get a finish, which I want to say there was like 30 seconds left or something. Just a beautiful performance. And his bracket was kind of weird. It should have been like a round robin, because one of his guys didn't show up. So there was a walkover win for one of the guys. So he never really got a chance to battle for second, which kind of stinks. But the good thing about it is Coach Nick came off the mat fired up and excited and ready to get to the next tournament, right? Like, he's like, we're going to Nashville. And so I cannot wait to watch, to continue to watch. There's a photo. I get so excited for Nick's matches, just because I get to see his journey since the beginning, right? And so, like, there's a photo of him from one of his fights a long time ago, me losing my mind in the background. And there's a great photo from this weekend, too, of me losing my mind whenever he hit this armbar. It was just so much fun to watch him compete. And he's already signed up for AGF in Tulsa, too. And that's going to be awesome, right? So watching him at such a high level set such a good example for all of our members, being a perfect example of what we should be like when we go out there: calm, cool, collected, and aggressive. Yeah, loved it. Loved every second of it, and looking forward to watching him go on a tear now and use everything from this weekend to improve from it and pick up even more wins, right? So, but this is Coach Nick's medal here, right? Pretty awesome to go out there and pick up a win at ADCC no matter what. And watching him do it the way he did with the submission was super awesome. Can't wait for the next one. And yeah, great job this weekend, Coach Nick. Next on the list, Brandon Lads stepped up and competed at ADCC, drove down there just for it. And, the matches that were in his actual division, he stepped up into two divisions. So he did his actual division and then jumped down a lower age group too, just to get more matches, which just shows what an incredible competitor Brandon is. Because at ADCC, more matches in a lower division, that's not like one or two extra matches. That would be like, I think his other bracket had like 20 something people in it, 20 or 30 people in it. So the fact that he had the mindset to, like, I just want to go get more matches and get more competition experience is great. And I thought he looked really good this weekend, and especially in his regular bracket. I think he was closer to finishes most of the time than his opponent. We just lost on points, and I don't have a problem losing on points if we're going for the finish. You know what I mean? Like, that was one of the things I loved about the fight to win rule set. Is like, it's just based on who's going for the finish the whole time. And Brandon definitely was going for the finish the whole time. The big takeaways, I think, from his match and some of the others that I've already talked with Coach Nick about and Coach Tyler about a little bit, is it's little things like fundamental stuff that we're just getting stuck on, right? So, which is great for us because we know how to deal with that, how to drill that stuff. It might be not the most fun stuff to drill, but it is so essential, and it's only little things, right? It's like little positioning details and working out of positions. And that was the big takeaway from really uh all the matches this weekend was just we got to tighten up some fundamentals, right? That's all it comes down to. But again, super proud of Brandon. I love watching Brandon compete because he's such a competitor. Um, but super proud of Brandon for going down there and jumping into the other bracket too, and competing against the toughest guys we've ever competed against. So yeah, great job this weekend, Brandon. Looking forward to your next one. I know you're already signed up for Fuji in July, and I know this weekend's competition is only going to help us be more prepared and more ready for that one for sure. So, and then we have Elijah and Shane. They both had a couple tough losses, but again, these guys are both pretty young in the sport, right? They're young in age, but also young in the sport, and so to go down to such a big tournament like this and compete only going to continue to improve and get better. Like I said, Shane is fighting July 25th at FAC. So having this like crazy competition experience where the mat is surrounded and you're one-on-one and like Shane in one of his matches, they just like right away went like two bulls just clashing into each other. Having that kind of experience and getting your big adrenaline dump is only going to help him be more ready for FAC in July whenever the lights are all on him for the MMA match. So, yeah, Shane and Eli going down there and competing like they did, they're only going to use it to improve and continue to get better. And yeah, super excited to see the experience that they take away from it and the growth that they take away from this weekend. But I think that's everybody. I think we got through all the matches there, guys. Super proud of everybody for going down there and really putting it on the line. And it's hard to explain unless you were there, but the level of competition and the competition itself was just different than anything we've done so far, right? And I thought it was so good. The tournament itself was so good for everybody. I know it was good for me just sitting there watching and seeing the experience, what the highest level is like, because this was the highest level, right? Like this is some of the best guys in the world were there competing. So highly encourage you, if it's not Nashville, whatever it is, try to watch it and just go be a part of it because it's only going to help you get better. And yeah, I think I speak for Coach Nick too. Like the one tournament, we're gonna have so many takeaways from this tournament to help us continue to grow for the next several years. Like that, yeah, has me fired up to get back on the mats and train. It was so much fun to jump in and roll last night. I was dying to roll after this weekend. Just definitely invigorating and exciting for what's possible and what we have to look forward to. And yeah, excited for the next one. But I do want to talk a little bit about. I wrote down a note here and I cannot read it. Yeah. Anyway, I do want to talk a little bit about just the experience off the mat too, right? I need to say thank you to several people that made this weekend possible. For one, right? I want to make sure to shout out Katie Spicer for helping with the hotel plans the whole time. She went above and beyond to make sure that everybody was settled in and in the right spots and all that stuff. So she worked her tail off behind the scenes to help get a lot of us get our lodging all in order. So super thankful for Katie. And then really just for, the Moores and Brandon, all the ones that were like, I'm in, right? I'm going, right? Like to make it a reality, like to just go down and do this. If you don't know this about me, I'm obsessed with professional paintball. And so one of the things I've always been jealous about is in paintball, like it's very similar to MMA and Jiu-Jitsu where there's not really a lot of money in it, but what paintball has is these tournaments are all over the country, and these guys just travel with their group of friends to different cities and go play paintball, and then they just hang out in the city and do different fun stuff. And I really feel like I got that experience this weekend. Um, and having a group of people that are willing to drive 8 hours down to Dallas to to have the experience of the tournament, but just get together and do something fun too, was awesome. So thank you to everybody that went down. I thought that was awesome, and thank you to everybody that was here that supported too. Right, it was so cool to get the pictures of the kids and everybody watching on the TV during open mat on Saturday. I thought that was super cool. Except my fat face was like in the camera on the TV, which was not the best screenshot, but yeah. Um, yeah, having all the support here was awesome too. I know John's in here. John said he was watching on the airplane on Smooth Comp, trying to keep up with, or watching, trying to keep up with everybody's matches on the airplane too. So, um, that support did not go unnoticed while we were there too. We were talking about it while we were down there, and yeah, just that the experience off the mat was just as much fun as the tournament too. Right, we had such a good time. We um, took most of the crew went to the stockyards area down there on Friday. We got lunch, weigh-ins, got dinner together. Got to go to a rodeo that night in Texas, which was cool. And like I said, you go to these, and shout out to I want to give a thank you to Mike Murray too for he was kind of the start of all of this, right? As I wanted to go down to see Mike and train with Mike, and that ended up timing out with the ADCC tournament, and then it kind of turned into the tournament thing. But we got to see Mike while we were down there, and got to go to the rodeo with him, and yeah, just super fun getting everybody together to go do something fun outside the gym. But when we're out and doing these things, like you end up talking about jiu-jitsu and matches and like different competitions, and there's always stuff that can be taken away from that, right? It's all experience that you're putting in your toolbox to better prepare you for whatever's next. And even the conversations that happened at the rodeo or at dinner and all that stuff, I think helps make everybody better. And yeah, it was just such a good weekend. And as I expected, I think there's going to be a ton of growth from this weekend, right? I know, like I said, there's a lot of things I'm ready to work on, which I think, like I've already kind of alluded to, most of it's just like fundamental stuff that we want to tighten up, and we want to get to where we can't be stuck in positions, right? Or we can't be stuck in mount or side control, and yeah, all basic stuff that I think everybody has an idea of, but we can just add few more little details to whenever we're in that high pressure situation. It's second nature to us. So, yeah. Overall, though, guys, thank you everybody that made the weekend possible. Yeah, we had an absolute blast. I need to make sure to thank the grass girls too, and the more kids that they helped. My kids were so happy all weekend just because they got to be around those kids, right? And I couldn't ask for a better group of kids for my kids to look up to, and they went above and beyond. Carly especially had, I think, Blair on her lap all weekend, helping watch her, and Blair has not stopped talking about Carly all weekend. So thank you to all of you guys who made the weekend as special as it was and as much fun as it was. Again, when we do these tournaments, whether it's out of town or not, win, lose, or draw doesn't really matter, right? The goal is you're planning, like, if you lose the tournament, you're not going to stop jiu-jitsu, right? You're not going to stop training. So you got to use that to keep moving forward. Like James says this a lot, but you have the weekend to laugh or cry, and then you're back to work on Monday no matter what, right? And I thought that was cool that I think everybody that competed this weekend was here last night training. And yeah, you're not going to remember the matches in 2 weeks anyway, right? You're not going to remember exactly what happened. I can't even remember everybody's finishes and how everything went from this weekend. But what I will never forget is how we used this tournament to improve from, right? How this is a great baseline for us to keep moving forward, and how much I'll never forget it being our first tournament and just realizing the difference in level that we're about to go up against, and how it's gives us new goals and new tiers to shoot for, right? And new things to shoot for. So I'll never forget that. I'll never forget all the stuff off the mats with the team, both at the tournament and outside of the tournament, the rodeo, all that stuff. I'll never forget as soon as they get done doing the national anthem and all that stuff at the rodeo, Mike Murray leaning over in my ear and goes, "Welcome to Texas," right? And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget foam noodle sword battling with all the kids at the tournament. um, if you haven't seen videos of that, I got absolutely destroyed with these little like 3D printed swords that were like pool noodles. They were so much fun. I'll never forget all that stuff. And just how I know my kids will never forget being there this weekend, but that's the stuff that matters, right? That's the stuff that matters, is how we use it to move forward, how we use it to grow from, and then we're trying to make as many memories as we can. And I definitely felt it this weekend, right? Like I don't want to get too cheesy, but there was multiple points this weekend where like I just had to like stop, and I that the quote, wish you were in the good old, or wish you knew you were in the good old days before they left, or whatever. I felt like I was living in the good days this weekend, right? Like, but both the last 2 weekends really was several times I got to look around and be like, this is stuff I'll never forget, right? Both the tournament and then all the stuff outside of it too, the pool party, the crazy competition, all of it was so much fun. And I'm super thankful for all of you guys. Again, both here at home that we're supporting, and at the tournament that made it all possible. I appreciate you all so much. And I can't wait for the next one, right? So we have a couple big tournaments coming up here locally, and then we can start getting ready for anybody that wants to go down to Nashville for an ADCC again too. So, yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Leave me a quick like if you're still in here. Just hit that little thumbs up button. That would be appreciated. Let me know somebody's in here watching. My thing doesn't load very well anymore. I don't know what's going on with my phone as far as like seeing comments and stuff, but yeah, great job this weekend, everybody. I appreciate you all. Yeah, happy birthday, Lakota. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. We have gi class tonight. I'll see you there. We got kickboxing tonight. I'll see you there. We got in about an hour and a half. If you want to come to some no gi at noon with me, I'd love to see you there. But let's come in this week fired up, ready to improve. And even if your goals aren't competition, guys, even if your goal is just for fitness or self-defense, whatever it is, the good thing about this tournament is it gives you something to shoot for. Even if you're not doing the tournament, the team as a whole is going to grow and get ready for that together, right? We compete as an individual, but we get ready together. So we have a next goal to shoot for, a next thing to get ready for. And yeah, I'm excited for it with all of you guys, right? Yeah, thank you guys for everything this weekend. Proud of everybody. And yeah, thanks for tuning in today. And I will see you on the mats tonight, the rest of the week. Let's train hard, show up for each other. And yeah, I love you guys. Have a good one. And we'll see you soon.